Cicada Rhythm right here on stage at the Georgia Theater in Athens, your hometown. You guys sound great. Let me ask you about that whole freight train hopping thing, Dave. Was that just like a phase you went through? Or
it was a phase, definitely.
Yeah?
The novelty kind of wore off pretty quickly once it started raining.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Is it because you were like singing train songs, or what was the
that was
lure
part of it? I was singing train songs, and I figured I should know what I was singing about, so I just hopped on one day, and there I was. Yeah.
It was. It sounds dangerous.
It's a bit dangerous. I don't recommend it.
But I can tell you, when we were coming into Athens yesterday, we had this experience where the flight was diverted, and we went to Pensacola, and we were in the storm, and it took like 14 hours to get here, and then we're just pulling into Athens, Georgia, and we're the last road, and the gates closed, and a freight train came by at 1:30 in the morning, and then it stopped. Right, it just blocked the road, and I thought,
low priority.
Man, if you ever wanted to hop on a freight train, there's your shot right there.
Yeah.
Just like,
oh yeah, they slow down in residential areas.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So did you learn like which
Just
cars
FYI.
to hop onto, and which ones were good rides? And
Well, first I would hop on these ones called gondolas, which are just basically open ones that have no freight in them. They're just a big old container, basically. But as far as my experience, there were never like open box cars in Georgia. Yeah. So I'd just be hanging out in the open ones you see without any freight in them.
yeah. And then you jumped off a freight train, called your buddy, said, "Come pick me up," and then he shows up with her.
Yeah, we would ride from Atlanta to Athens, and then Athens and back, and I hopped off and called my buddy, and then Andrea met me. And we always say it was not love at first sight, for sure, because I looked pretty disgusting.
I'll attest to that. He was pretty disgusting.
And Andrea, had you already been done with school? I know everybody who's sort of paid attention to Andrea knows you studied at Juilliard. You went and did the very arduous and remarkable journey to go and study classical bass in New York. Was that after you'd done that when you guys met?
It was the summer before my senior year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you're well on your way to having a respectable career.
Yes, I almost had the diploma.
Oh, she still got it.
No, I got it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Now, when you went to Juilliard, were you already aware of? First, let me just say you have just a great tone and intonation, and I heard you play arco before, and it's a great facility. You know, you really, I mean, it's an instrument that you are well suited to, and you play beautifully. Did you know about guys like Edgar Meyer or Chris Wood before you went to Juilliard?
I did know of Edgar Meyer. I actually met him a couple times. I auditioned for his prestigious school, the Curtis Institute. Yeah. And he played my bass, actually. He had a hankering to play a Chinese bass. So I let him.
Yeah. But I know that, and again, we're just going to learn more about Andrea's playing as the night goes on, but you can also slap the bass like a good rockabilly or a bluegrass player. I mean, you've got really good variety of skills that most classical bassists don't.
Well, thank you. That came later, you know.
Well, it's pretty cool. Now, the name, you know, again, I don't mean to berate or belittle the cicadas by talking about their weird habits, but I think about that summer evening, a late summer evening, and just hearing the pulse of that song. And is that part of the genesis of the name of the band?
Well, the name definitely came after the genesis of the band. I think honestly, we just wanted something that was indicative of the South. You know, we wanted something that sounded Southern, and to us, the cicadas are part of our identity, our hot summer identity.
Mm. And it's not related to the sound of your last name, Kirslis?
No, I've never gotten that. No.
Huh. Which is, of course, leads one to think about metamorphosis and larva and stuff like that.
Ooh, how flattering. We've also been told it was like, oh, it's like circadian rhythm. Is that what you guys were
Right.
thinking?
And we're like, no, we're not that smart. We didn't think that one through.
Well, it's cool. And now you've expanded the band, so you've got a great pedal steel player and a great
Yes.
drummer, and you're playing gigs as a bigger sound. And I know you've been on the road opening for bands, but I'm sure you're getting all kinds of headlining slots too.
We're trying. We definitely do our fair share of headlining shows here in Athens. We love our town. So
And Dave, I think somewhere along the way you also got a degree, right? Was it mechanical engineering or?
I did. I went
Yeah.
to Georgia Tech and got a mechanical engineering degree.
Yeah.
big old brain.
Yeah. I know. Committed treason moving here. But I love Athens. Don't really watch football either, so.
Well,
He watches the one game everybody watches.
Right.
and then
Yeah. What was the
and
score of that last game? Well, you guys remember that Georgia Tech game?
Well, let me before we get back to music, one last thing. I can hear in your playing a little bit of the Wood Brothers, which are a couple of guys who actually grew up in Boulder, but they just in your choice of guitar and your singing a little bit and is that part of your inspiration?
Definitely was inspired a lot by Oliver Wood. He used to play in Atlanta. I would go watch him in the bars, and there's a couple of times I mowed his lawn for lessons and things. So.
Wow, that's a bluesy story.
It was more pulling weeds, but
Yeah. Well, listen, there's a lot to see here, and I'm going to let you guys get back to music. But we're thrilled that you could be here.
Thanks
a
for
band
having
from
us.
born and raised in Georgia. Let's get back to music. Welcome back, Cicada Rhythm.
Thank you, Nick.